It amazes me that to convince black people that Donald Trump cares about them, he takes pictures with celebrities. It's amazing to me. If Donald Trump cared about black people, he wouldn't have denigrated the president with those claims of birtherism.
But part of that is starting off with Snoop Dogg and Nelly and Soulja Boy and others for their decisions to perform at events surrounding the inauguration.
The entertainment world was shaken when DL Hughley, the sharp-tongued comedian known for never holding back, took aim at one of hip-hop's untouchables, Snoop Dogg. It began quietly, during an interview where DL spoke about how the industry celebrates loyalty only when it's convenient. But soon, he dropped the veil, saying Snoop had played both sides for too long, acting like a gangster when it was cool, and switching to corporate clean cut.
The most important thing is there's got to be a solution, because this has been going on in the industry for a whole years, for decades. And at the same time, nobody wants this to be true, and it shouldn't have to be true. But if we don't fix it and do something about it, history will constantly
repeat itself. Now, Suge, you said something early on that I want to get clarification for the audience, Suge. You said early on, you can't just look at Diddy in isolation. You said this was done to him. He learned from others, and it was done to him, and then he did to others. To me, that sounds like what I hear when people are talking about of situations, hurt people, that someone they wind up being a perpetrator. Is that what you're suggesting about Sean Combs, that he was used and he now uses?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I think he beat what was done to him. And like I said, if you look at Russell Simmons, you know the truth. Andre Rail, you know the truth. Clyde Davis, you know the truth. Jimmy Iovine, you know the truth. So there's not certain things that all of a sudden you got this. The industry is a quick business. It's been like that for a long time. And the casting couch is real, but it's for women and men. But far from all that, I think the most important thing is I feel like they should let Puffy tell his truth. I'm quite sure he's going to expose a lot of people. I'm sure he's going to move forward with it. But I don't think it should be a situation like the Epstein thing where they found him hanging from the ceiling and dead for the...
When it paid better. The room fell silent, but the internet didn't. Within hours, his words were everywhere, with people asking one question: did DL just call Snoop Dogg a rat? Social media exploded. Old interviews of Snoop resurfaced, conspiracy clips popped up on TikTok, and YouTube commentators broke it all down frame by frame. Fans started digging into Snoop's past, connecting dots that maybe weren't even there. Some defended the rapper, saying he'd evolved from death row to peace ambassador and earned the right to change. Others said DL just had the guts to say what everyone else whispers in private. In the middle of all this noise, Snoop dropped an Instagram story, a black screen with only the words, "Real ones don't talk. They move." It was subtle, but everyone knew who he was talking about. The post went viral within minutes.
And I knew that Pac did everything right by him by putting him on All Eyes on Me, speaking about him and being real with him. And if it's true what they say,
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Face-to-face is going to be a lot of explaining to do. Only way you have a radio if you was at the fight with us and you had a security detail. Now, not having a security detail, what are you doing with the radio?
The tension boiled over at a private event in Los Angeles. Witnesses claimed Snoop's crew ran into DL backstage, and the energy changed instantly. What began as a conversation turned into shouting, DL standing his ground, Snoop's people surrounding him, voices echoing across the hallway. One source said you could feel the anger, years of hidden resentment spilling out. security rushed in before anything serious
Chill, I'm not performing. I am in Washington, D.C. right now, but I'm not performing. It's a private vibe I'm doing with my brother Snoop Dogg.
happened, but the damage was done. That night, multiple outlets ran headlines like Snoop and DL nearly come to blows. Both sides tried to downplay it publicly, but insiders confirmed that was no misunderstanding. It was personal.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the dope, ready to make it.
Now, the hip-hop world is divided. Some say DL went too far, that comedy has limits and respect must be kept. Others argue Snoop can't expect to be untouchable
but
if he lives
DL
in the
wasn't
public
buying
eye.
none of that. He
The
hopped on
debate isn't just
Instagram and
about
went
two
off,
celebrities
writing,
anymore.
Trump propping
It's
up
about
white
what happens
supremacy
when truth
isn't
and
just
ego
his
collide.
past, Nelly. It's who he
Behind
still
the
is
scenes,
today.
mutual
Then he
friends
doubled
are
down by
reportedly trying to
reposting that
broker
old clip
peace,
of Snoop
but
mocking
neither
other
man
artists,
seems ready
letting
to
the
back down.
contradiction do the talking. The
DL
message
stands
was
by
loud
his
and clear.
words,
DL
claiming
was
he's
calling
just
out
speaking
hypocrisy,
facts.
and the internet stood right
Snoop,
behind him.
meanwhile,
DL
has gone
Hughley
quiet,
has been locked in
focusing
on
on
this
his businesses, but fans can tell, silence doesn't mean surrender.
But I am honored to be performing for the office, for the President of the United States, regardless. Ain't none other president asked me to perform.
Playing
Whether
our
this
community
ends
for
with a handshake
decades.
or another
Now,
headline,
DL's theory
one
about
thing's
why
certain.
Trump wanted
This
Snoop on
feud
that
has
stage,
peeled back the
cold
layers
but
of
believable.
Hollywood's fake
He said
smiles.
it's about control,
no longer
about
just about
Trump
who said
showing
what.
he's powerful enough
It's
to
about
make
legacy,
the same man
pride,
who once
and
mocked
survival
him
in
now
an industry
perform for
where
him.
reputation
Basically,
means
a
everything.
public power move,
Two
a
legends,
flex to show that
two
even the
worlds,
icons can
and
be
one
turned
explosive
if the
moment
offer's
that
sweet
reminded
enough.
everyone.
And when you sit
Even
back
the
and think
biggest
about
names
it,
can
he
fall
might
out
just
when
be
truth
right.
hits too
Trump
close
didn't
to
call
home.
back Walker.
Gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo is gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the one of you Uncle Tom is for doing it. Which one of you?
Flocka,
weeks
Kodak
passed,
Black, or
the
Lil
noise
Pump this
faded a
time.
little.
Those names
Both
already
men
did their
returned to
part
work,
back in the day
but
when he
every
needed
move was
controversy and
watched.
clout.
Fans
But
analyzed
Snoop,
lyrics,
that's a whole different
captions,
level.
even outfits,
His name carries
looking
weight,
for hidden
global
gems.
reach, commercial
Rumors
power, and
swirled of
respect
a
that goes
private
beyond
sit-down
hip-hop.
arranged by
That's why
mutual
DL
friends,
believes
but
Trump's
neither
team picked
camp
him
confirmed it.
carefully, not
And yet,
random, but
somewhere
strategic.
between the anger
And the
and the
internet
pride,
reaction proved the
something
point.
shifted.
Memes,
At
edits,
a
and
charity
savage
gala
jokes
months
flooded
later,
every platform,
DL
turning
and
Snoop's
Snoop
performance
ended up
into a
in the
viral
same
circus
room once
overnight.
again.
One user
Cameras
dropped a
flashed,
cold quote from
everyone
DMX saying
bracing
they
for
sold their
another
souls
storm.
to the devil
But this
and the
time,
price was
there
cheap.
was no
That
shouting,
comment went
no
viral
tension.
fast.
Snoop
Another
nodded
fan
once
wrote,
from across
after
the
Snoop's
floor.
Olympic moment,
DL
he
nodded
thought he
back.
was untouchable.
No
Guess
handshake,
not, the shade
no
was
words,
brutal.
just
And
two
then
men
came the
who'd said
deeper
enough.
accusations.
Finally
Go on,
letting
do it,
silence say the
People
rest.
online started
Hollywood
claiming
pretended to
Snoop
move
might
on,
be an informant,
but fans
pointing
still
out how he's
replayed that
everywhere
moment
lately.
over
From
and
commercials
over,
to Olympic
wondering
hosting
if that
gigs
nod
to
was
random
peace,
brand deals
or
that don't
just
even
another
make
warning.
sense.